hello all you fine people out there in YouTube land. This is Texas Special, and it is a dreary and drizzly and miserable Black Friday. But, fear not, because today we're going to be doing mostly indoor stuff. I'm here in New Braunfels, Texas at the New Braunfels Railroad Museum. Now, Google Maps said that this place was going to be open at 11. Apparently not. It is about 45 minutes early, which is no big deal. Just if the hours are accurate on the door, they'll still be open. They'll just be opening at noon. Thankfully, there is a few things that I can get at on camera that are outside the building. I'm going to be a little hesitant to try and film some of that just simply because of the weather. I'm sure you can hear right now there's water dripping. It's not really raining, more so just very heavily misting. But cool thing about this museum, it is located right in the heart of downtown New Braunfels, Texas. So if you are here in the New Braunfels area, South Texas area, San Antonio area, you should definitely swing by and check it out. There's plenty of stuff to do, plenty of antique stores and small shops and boutiques. You know, you can leave your significant other and the rest of your family will find something to do while you drool over trains. If you're lucky like me and you have a wife that does like trains, well then you probably will get dragged over to all that other stuff whenever you get done drooling over trains. Further note, this museum is also located adjacent the Union Pacific's Austin Subdivision. Now, I did see a green light, a signal, when I walked across the railroad crossing to get to the museum from my parking space. So hopefully we'll have something coming soon. Maybe kill some time watching some trains in the interim. But for right now, let's check out this museum. Alright, now that this rain is kind of halfway subsided, let's try this again. You see the exterior of the museum, the non-track side. See a little baggage, you see a couple old baggage carts right there. Fold down table for when they do the kids run the train events, Saturdays 10 to 2, first and third Saturdays of the month. Old railroad crossing sign. My favorite signs ever. I hate those damn signs. Restrooms. Missouri Pacific all over the place. Of course, this is an ex-Missouri Pacific rail line. Old crossing signal, more baggage carts, old switch stand, crossing lights, a little tank switcher, a little steam tank switcher, a box car. There's a dining car right over there. You can't really see it from the outside. From the parking lot view, and an old Missouri Pacific Caboose. Now, as I said, this museum is located immediately adjacent the Austin Subdivision along the southbound route. The UP's Austin Subdivision is a directional route, so it's actually two main track up to a certain point, and they run only northbound trains one way and only southbound trains another. Old semaphore signal. Here we have an old railroad crew shower. At the end of the run, running the steam engines and whatnot, crews would get really dirty on the head end. Of course, you got the coal smoke and coal dust, and the engineers got to get down there and lubricate and oil the rods, the side rods on the engine. And steam locomotives were just, you know, as much fun as they were to watch, they were filthy creatures. So the guys at the end of the run needed somewhere to bathe, so there it is, the railroad shower. As I'm pretty sure y'all have figured out, we're going to be starting with the exterior stuff first. Here's the other side of that gorgeous little tanker steamer. You can see a speed limit sign, railroad signs, an old railroad hand cart here, and a speeder. Now, back before the days of high rail trucks that could drive to a spot and then set right down on the rail, you had first these. They were hand powered. Then with the invention and commonplace use of the internal combustion engine, you had these. Now, some had a fully enclosed cab, others like a Jeep top, and others like this one were just a frame with an engine that you rode on, and there was, you know,
if you want slash 35 UP2650.
You might carry some tools on there with you, or you might drag tools behind you in a little small trailer.
2650.
Now, you can't see it very well from this angle, but, well, I guess you can see it kind of well. But there's a little Garden Railroad, little loop of G-scale track. I didn't know about that. Although, given the weather, I don't think they'll be running any G-scale today, which, you know, like I said, I didn't know about it, so I can't be mad about it, but that's cool. I didn't know they had a Garden Railroad. Here we have the dining car. Much better view of it this time, now that we're actually inside the museum. Nothing particularly special about the exterior. It's a old heavyweight style dining car. I'm intentionally avoiding showing the boxcar until I can get to that point. There's a surprise inside of it. It's not a normal boxcar. And here we have the Caboose. I'll go in here first. So, here we have a very well done, very well preserved Caboose. This is what you would expect to find in a Caboose. Maybe not a modern fire extinguisher and the sign pointing it out, but this is more or less what operating employees would deal with when they went on duty, and the engineer, or not the engineer, the conductor and the rear brakeman would get on the Caboose. So, got a little table here to eat your meals, drink your coffee, review paperwork to an extent. You had an old coal-fired stove or gas or oil-fired stove, depending on where you were at. Wood as well. Here you have the conductor's desk, where he could review all the way bills and whatnot and bills of lading for all the cargo on the train. Some hand signals, all of which are actually still in use today. Here we have the other office in the Caboose. Yeah. The famous cupola, where the crews would sit and watch over the top of the train. That was your emergency brake valve. If you had to pull it, you didn't want to have to pull it. I'll leave it at that. Here we have, we'll say this guy's a conductor. He looks like he knows what he's doing. Just watching over the train. And you can see there another brake valve, and I think that's actually a like regular air brake valve that you can apply a service application or release the brakes or whatnot. And I almost walked straight into this glass. Here at the end of the Caboose, there's not really a whole lot. You have some examples of early Amtrak conductor uniforms, and then some Missouri Pacific uniforms. And of course these were the passenger conductors, not the freight conductors. The freight conductors dressed like that. An example of an early EOT or FRED or end of train device or EDT, it's all the same thing. The early ones were battery powered, they were heavy, they were inconvenient, just like anything new, in the very beginning. It's not convenient to use. But that right there is what made this Caboose I'm standing in right now obsolete. And we have a water fountain, water cooler. Inside these metal cabinets they would store their grips, their backpacks, luggage, or extra tools or whatnot. Alright, let's check out the dining car. So here we go. This dining car is actually available for you can charter it out for private events. They have done weddings here and whatnot, and all kinds of just cool social events. Little poster talking about how it came to the museum. I'm not going to try and focus on any of the posters or signs. I'll let y'all, if y'all ever come out this way, I'll let y'all do that. You can do that on your own. And it's not laziness, it's just I'm trying to get a lot done in a short amount of time, and I'll be here a lot longer than I need to be if I focus on every little deal. A cool little display, little diorama of the Golden Spike at Promontory Summit, not Point, Summit. Golden Spike. That's actually one of my favorite books right there. I've got that in my collection. It's a really good read. If you don't have it or you haven't read it, you should definitely get it. You should definitely read it. It's a very good book. So, in actual revenue service, this dining car more than likely would not have had all these pictures displayed around the walls. Definitely would not have had the all the pictures on the tabletops, but they are a nice touch in this car's current life as an exhibit piece. I apologize, I'm trying to do the best I can here with this glare. Here we have a display of railroad china. This is cool. For a minute my wife was talking about getting into this, and then I explained to her just how much some of these items can cost if you can find them and they're actually legitimate railroad pieces. That she changed her mind rather quickly. Oh, hey, look. Advertisements for my favorite passenger train ever. I actually own a model of this car right here. If you haven't figured it out yet, that should give it away. And if you still haven't figured it out, you're just beyond my help. And that's what I've been looking for. That is the one sign or poster or whatever you want to call it that I will actually take time to look at and show you guys. It is a lunch menu for the Union, or excuse me, it is Union Pacific now, but at the time Missouri Pacific dining car. I'm doing this freehand, so bear with me. $2.10 for a hamburger in 1966. Alright, so here we have the blue flag. When they were stocking the car, when they were stocking the car with supplies for the galley, they would hang this on the car so there was no movement. And that, no truer words were ever spoken. You don't need a son as an excuse to buy a Lionel train. No truer words were ever spoken. Alright, coming back around over here, we see some more stuff on display. A little spittoon there. Alright, that's it. So I mentioned that this boxcar held inside of it a surprise. If you're not familiar with this museum like I wasn't until about a year and a half ago, then you definitely don't know that this is not a normal boxcar. At least not anymore, it's not. Now, it is the home of a gorgeous in-scale display. And here in a minute, once I start going through all the stuff inside, we'll come back and revisit it. I do believe there's a train coming though, so I'm going to try and get that real quick. The old claims agent office and the train master's office right next to one another. Alright, baggage room, museum annex. More displays and exhibits. Let's see. Got an old Western Union machine. I'm not quite sure what the story is on that right there. Looks like a diorama depicting World War I. A little odd, but okay. The Liberty Bell special. Little HO scale diorama. Train carrying the Liberty Bell. America's finest fighting forces. I might say that with a little bit of bias. Now what are you? You are clearly a model of a depot, but which one? Ah, the Missouri Pacific Depot, or International and Great Northern Depot in Austin, Texas. Now here we have a 1950s era telephone switchboard. Passenger car seats, a travel trunk. Oh, this is cool. The circus train is coming to our town. Further note, you can see there's all kinds of schematics and pictures and all that along the walls. That's actually modern, or more modern. Here we have a small HO scale layout with a, looks like a Bachmann circus train set. And a little small CN with a itty bitty little caboose. This is a pretty cool little layout. See if I can get that circus train coming back around. There we go. That's a gorgeous little bridge though. Alright, now here you see people enjoying the circus. Yay, circus. I love these bridges. These bridges are cool. I'm a sucker for bridges, if y'all didn't know. And you see there the spur, the unloading spur, getting the circus set up. Gorgeous little town. Trying to walk around some step stools. Circus wagons coming in off the bridge there. Of course, the church. And here comes the train again. Cool little layout. There you see a little display on armored trains. Pistons. Let's talk about pistons. That's the size comparison, y'all. So here we have a truck engine, a car engine, and a locomotive engine piston. You know, trains are huge. There's no other way to say it. Huge trains means huge parts. A bunch of wedges. Alright, let's go check out the inside of the museum. Alright, we're in. So, as you can tell, this is definitely a family-friendly place. Here, right as you walk in, there is little play tables and whatnot for the kiddos. Got a little train table, wooden trains. Nice little MP sign. Date nails. I haven't been to a museum without them yet. Looks like they have a complete collection from 1900 all the way to 1984, then they skipped to 88. A railroad map of the Missouri Pacific system. Some little old prints. This right here is an oil can. The engineers would use this to lubricate the side rods and wheel bearings on the engine. Some pins. old lanterns. And stock. Now up here we see more lanterns and switch lights, switch lamps. Turn my radio off for now. That's a locomotive headlight. It's an old locomotive headlight from a little 060 yard goat. Kind of like what's outside. An old train order. Yeah, it's the most beautiful train out there. I know what that is. That's a whistle. It's an old crew pack. Flags. More hand signals. Train order hoops. You can see there the station agent would copy the order from the dispatcher and string it up either like that or like that, and then pass it up on that big stick to the crew. The crew would take the hoop and then get the orders and then toss the hoop back down. They would have one for the they'd have one set for the head end and one set for the rear end. Class flags. A bunch of old books. Oh, cool, paper train. But you can't see it too good. And we'll come around here. We have some more stuff. Now you can see it a little bit better. Got some old switch locks.
What are you shooting?
Here we got another old spittoon and some old railroad literature. Brochure on the American Freedom Train. Some hard hats. Operating rules. All kind of fun stuff. And here we have a mix of old and new and modern. I say modern simply because some of this is not new, but it is from this time frame. Like that right there, I can tell without even looking too hard, that's the 844. Alright, so people ask me all the time when I talk about rail size. That's a good example right there. Now, this rail, as you can see there, it says it was rolled in 1890. Alright, this is, oh, where is it? Can't be too heavy. I'm going to guess 85 or 90 pound rail. That is modern 136 pound rail. And then behind it looks like maybe 115 pound rail right there. It's an old switch stand. They have a nice little gift shop here. Nothing too elaborate, but It is. Does have some cool and interesting stuff, and I'm probably going to get in trouble and spend some money here in a little bit. Pick up a cap or two and maybe some books for my boy. Alright, here was one of the main reasons I wanted to come to check out this museum. This little, well, no, I shouldn't say little. This HO scale model railroad. It's a fairly decent sized railroad. And this is also actually technically a club visit. Though the club is not here running, this is also a club layout. Here we see a cutaway model of a engine shop. And a very, very cluttered yard, very busy yard. Oh, that's cool. Little European engine. I'm gonna assume it's European. Amtrak, Heritage Fleet. One of the most beautiful locomotives in the world. That's my speed right there. So we come around, I'll try and go as high as I can.
Why are the trees running right now? Because I want to. Oh. They don't run all the time, it's like saying your car.
Ah, military train. I love it.
That's right. Hi, kid.
My son would love this loop. Because, like most young children, he is infatuated with the little blue engine, and I think he actually likes the little green engine more than the little blue engine. Here we have a circus scene, festival, fair scene, a carnival, and a circus train parked. Turn my radio back on for a minute. And the big top, a cutaway model of a big top tent with, let's see what's going on in here. Got some unicyclers and some animals and all kind of wonderful stuff, and the people are just loving it.
If you want to dispatch 35,
Here's that bottom loop.
Come on back, rubber duck. Breaker.
yes, it's 47330.
RV, tourist, oh, duh, overflow parking for the circus, duh. Now we come around here,
2236, northbound top signal, dark.
see a nursery or an orchard type of deal, farmer's market scene.
All right, yes, sir, do.
I love that little Texas flag. And then we go back around toward the back wall. And down here we have a quarry scene. You can't be in this area of Texas and not have a quarry scene on a club model railroad. Alright, we got trains running. Oh, there's Percy.
That's a medium one. Okay, I'll go. I'll take this. You have to call through there.